Hey guys. Well, I'm a big one for social media. I think it's going to be the way things are going to go in the future. Like, it'll be. Remember the days when, oh, well, not that any of us really were alive then, but maybe some oldies. But when radio was the big thing and television took over, or FM took over from AM, you know, we're actually approaching into a new era, the information era, and it will take over. I've got no doubts in that. Now, how you can benefit off it is start opening channels. Start opening channels, start getting followers, get them used to your face, and grow. Grow. Pick something to work on. Could be, at the moment, let me get this bit of paper over here. I'll go in checking out Country Towns. There's another YouTube channel, and he is called, believe it or not, I've bloody lost it. Here we go. He's called Dave Without a Map. Well, what our mate Davo does, Dave Without a Map, he travels Australia. He actually travels the world. And it just shows you how other people live and what it's like out there. Now, the one that particularly interests me is when he travels Australia inland. It's like it's the new frontier for us, because us Australians, we just haven't worked out. We've got an inland part of the country. We've got a very small part of the population that lives in there. Now, from what I've noticed, there was one of the episodes I watched was of Lake Cargeligo. Lake Cargeligo. Now, from what I've seen, they've got Wi-Fi towers out there. Now, like I said, I'm a big believer in where social media is going to take us. Online media, you could literally you can make content anywhere. So you pick something to make out there. I'll give you a few stats on the town. Population 1,169. Average age 39. It's approximately 600 kilometres west of Sydney. Now here's the big one. This is one you won't hear much. The average or the median house price is $282,000. Now I seen it was a workshop out there, workshop of a massive block of land. It's old corrugated iron, big corrugated iron workshop. Out the back it had extra coverage and garage car spaces, undercover. Massive block of land, a lot of water tanks, and that was going for like 80,000, guys. Now what I've always liked about workshops is a mate of mine's done it. He's bought himself a workshop. He literally lives in it. He decked out. It's a high workshop, so one half of the workshop he decked out like an office, an accommodation, and the rest of the workshop is all his work, because he's in mobile cranes, and the rest of his workshop is just where he parks his car and where he's got shipping containers full of bloody heavy industrial gear. He's a plant mechanic and he works on cranes. So I'm a bit funny with living in a mechanical workshop because of I'm a bit of a greenie in that way. I don't like getting that shit on my hands. You'll notice a lot of old mechanics and panel beaters start getting the shakes and all that. Oh, I don't know. It's sort of the shit they work with is not good for you. But nevertheless, that's how he's done it. He gets massive tax gains from it. So you could do that. You could actually go out there. Just an open vision, all right? Just have an open vision. You can go out there. You could buy something like that for about 80,000. You could deck out the inside into accommodation. Outback, you could literally, like I said, it's a massive block of land. It's a big block of land. So you could actually grow your own veggies, chooks, whatever the hell you wanted out there. You could start making content. Your content could be anything. You could have a media channel talking about current affairs of the planet. You could have like that guy I just told you about, Dave Without a Map, was it? Yeah, Dave Without a Map. He makes content on travelling around Australia, showing you all little country towns, and that's where I picked up on him. And you can pick up bargains when you're looking at property. I know a lot of people, especially the young ones, they wouldn't want to move out there, but you'd have a lot of people. Look, to do something like online, to chat in front of a camera to all the people that can listen to you, I think some people get a bit daunted by it. It's daunting. I don't know why. Just think about it and do it. It's the only thing that's stopping a lot of people. It's what's causing a lot of stress. You know, people go, oh, what am I going to do if I lose my job? I remember when BHP Billiton got rid of a lot of people, Golden Handshake, they absolutely freaked out because they've been in this comfort zone their whole life, and all of a sudden the steelworks didn't need them anymore. They freaked. Meanwhile, us tradies, we're always scrounging for work. You know, until you get established. Once you're established, the work starts flowing. But before you get established, you're scrounging. Social media, when you first kick off, what have I got? I've got about 14 followers here. So you're scrounging. That's nothing. You know, so until you start building up numbers and it starts building. Now, you might hit the right thing for the right channel. You know, you could make quite a few channels. But once you get more into it, you'll notice it actually turns into a fairly good job. Like, there's a lot of work involved. You know, sometimes you've got to do I do current affairs on TikTok. Now, that can be a hassle because now when you get your information on social media today, I like to I get some information from social media, what's going on. I get some from the television. Television's a bit more reliable on that. The television lies in other ways. It twists the truth and talks bullshit. Social media is just incredible, the crap they come up with. So you've got to research everything. You've got to find the story that's interesting, and then you've got to actually research it. You've got to get about 4 or 5 different sources that are talking about the same story. Then you can start saying, righto, we might have the truth here. So there's a lot of work in starting your own station, starting your own social media company. But if you were going to do it, if you've got good reception out there, like I said, they've got the towers. Now, if you've got good reception out there, there's no reason you couldn't do it. You know, cheap land, cheap way of living. You won't have a mortgage, or if you do have a mortgage, you won't have one for long. But if you go out there with no money, without a trade, I think it's going to be a bit hard because there's not much work out there. You know, by the look of it, you've got to be either in the medical profession, possibly mechanical profession, or especially heavy machinery, education. Otherwise, if you go out there unqualified at anything, you're in deep shit. Because I don't know what you do to live out there. Now, you could buy something out there, start setting it up whilst you're working in the east, set up in the west, but you've still got to maintain your social media presence. You got to do all that. Like I obviously do construction, so I'm in construction and I do these posts. Sometimes it's a bit hard to think of content because I want to aim this channel towards alternative lifestyles, just different ideas of making money. We're all going to have to think about it because the way things are going, a lot of jobs are going to start disappearing. So my plan is to start setting up on social media. and head in that direction. But anyway, like I said, Lake Kajelico, about 600 kilometres west of Sydney. I'm pretty sure that's about 5 hours, 6 hours, about that. I don't, probably, I'd say Bitumen Road all the way to there. But it'd be interesting, really interesting. There's a big lake there. So if you like fishing and cheap property. All right, guys. Everyone take it easy. And I hope to make a new video soon. Catch you later.